All right. What engagement really matters? So we talked about this last week. We're going to talk about it just again, just really quickly because it's very, very important. Engagement isn't just likes, it's the connection you make with people. It's not just people scrolling and seeing your stuff. It's not people just scrolling and liking and then going on and forgetting they ever even liked it. It's really important to prioritize your saves, your shares, comments, and now reposts, specifically with Instagram. You want to show up with value and you'll get visibility. So we talked about not just putting stuff out there to put stuff out there. You want to let it be something that people want to see, what people are gaining value from. Let it be motivational stuff or educational stuff, or just your life that they're really interested in. So let it be valuable to them. And that's how you'll get visibility. Okay, so turning engagement into conversations. This is just a reminder. This is how you use social media to get sales and to get conversions, right? On your stories, always make sure that you add a story throughout your week or more than just one with polls, question boxes, or sliders. Then this can give you an easy, natural reason to message somebody. Whoever responds to one of those starts an easy conversation right away. Okay. You don't need to cold DM strangers. You just need to respond to the people who are already engaging in your content. And I think that is a really good difference in what a lot of people do. A lot of people just send out mass DMs to everybody and hoping it sticks, right? The way we're doing it is, as we talked about, it's attraction marketing, but a little bit of this as well. When they are responding to you, you continue the conversation through your DMs. All right. So remember, you want to pay attention to not just likes. You don't want to pay attention just to follows, but you want to pay more attention to the saves when people are saving your content. Saving content means that your stuff is valuable, right? Shares, same, valuable. Reposts. You can also see your reach, especially when you are doing your reels. You'll be able to see your reach. And I believe Instagram, at least on mine, I'm not sure if it's for everybody and it's only on every other one or so. I don't know how they do it, but also you could get, see your reach with your posts now, which is super great. And then you could see your story, your replies, profile visits, and link clicks. These are more specific to when you have a business account, which we will get into in a minute. So just know that those matter more than likes and more than follows. Those are great, but still, those are when you know that your content is valuable. All right, so this is how you need to stay consistent. We have batching. We talked a little bit about batching, engagement batching last week. I think we talked maybe a little bit about it last week as well with our reels and our content. Okay, so you want to film 3 reels in 30 minutes, and that's not a science. It could be 3 reels in an hour, it could be 10 reels in 30 minutes, right? Or posts, etc. So you want to do it all within just a certain amount of time so you're not stressed about creating it for the rest of the week or even the month. So you do this, we'll get in, this is how I would do it, and we'll talk a little bit about this in a second or in a minute later. Anyway, I'll do it now. So using batching, if I have one topic in my head, it is very easy to create a reel out of that topic, or even if it's just you walking and not even talking or nothing, right? And just like a beautiful meadow and a breeze with like words on it type of thing. That would be your reel for that topic. You could always turn that into a post. Okay, so now you already have 2 things that you could post just with that one idea. Then now let's change that into a carousel. So maybe split that one idea up into 3 or 4 smaller ideas that go along with that idea. Now you have a carousel post. Now let's put that into a story. Let's talk about it outwardly. Put it into a story. There's your 4. Okay. So all just with one little tiny idea, I just easily got 4 things of content out of that one idea. Now you could post this throughout the week, right one after each other. This is all where testing comes in. Maybe people are now annoyed by day 4 that you're talking about the same thing. So maybe let's wait until next week, right, to post some stuff. Or that one idea could be something that you post every Monday. right? So that's just the idea of batching is um, getting that one idea, creating stuff, creating content for that one idea. But it's not just that. It's also now maybe you're creating another idea within that 30-minute or hour time frame or whatever you have allotted yourself for that week, just to get more content out. So maybe one was specific about I'm just going to hurry up and have all my bottles set out and pour all of my stuff or all my products into these bottles and shake one for this video, stop. Now I'm doing Crave. Now I'm going to do Crave pouring out of my hand in this video, right? So all of a sudden you have like 5 products that you were able to just show real quick on like just quick videos of them or of you. You go around your house, you videotape yourself sitting on the couch with a cup of coffee. Now you go to your bedroom, you video yourself pretending to wake up, right? That's weird, but people do it. Or you walk out of your house, you put the camera up and you're walking down. And so you can video these quick little 10 to 15-second things very quickly. And now you have your visual content for the rest of the week or month, depending on how much you get out. So that's what batching is. Wow, I could have had like 3 slides on that. Sorry, it's only one sentence. Okay. So also now you could go to LIV, use the product testimonials from LIV and for part of your to stay consistent. Like if you have a brain freeze or writer's block, is that what the writers call it? Content block, whatever. Go to LIV, grab a testimonial and put it on something, okay? Follow your content pillars and rotate topics, all right? Set a realistic schedule. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself. That's the most important thing is always feeling like you have to do. If you set yourself on a good schedule, if you get a lot of your batching done early, then all you really have to do is the small extra things throughout the week. So it shouldn't be overwhelming. And that's what's most important is to not be overwhelmed by any of this. So set a realistic schedule for yourself. It might not be having to post every day. It could just be every other day. And that's fine as well. As long as you stay consistent, the algorithm, that was interesting. The algorithm likes consistency. So if you are there only posting, if you're posting 7 days a week for the next month, it gets whatever into the algorithm that that's what you are, what you're posting. And then all of a sudden you fall off and you start only doing once a week instead of 7 times a week. That actually signals to the algorithm bad stuff, apparently. I don't know what bad stuff. I'm not into that kind of tech, and we'll move you down in the algorithm. And so it'll be harder for your content to come back up. But when you go back up to 7 times a week. And so staying consistent is very, very important. So do realistic. It's okay if you do like more than normal in 1 week or another. Just try to be consistent with it. All right. And then we talked about the one idea to create multiple pieces of content already. So I want you guys to just think right now, where is a day, let's only take 30 minutes this week, where you could batch create. So just find a time in your schedule for 30 minutes where you could just batch create and see how much you could get out of that 30 minutes. And trust me, that 30 minutes, once you get started, it won't be 30 minutes. You'll get so excited and into this that it'll probably become a lot longer than that. But if you only have 30 minutes, then stay within that 30 minutes. Okay. Wow, this kind of went weird. Professional and business pages. I cannot reiterate this enough that if you really want to grow on social media beyond what you probably are, besides the stuff that I've already given you, and that we talked about in the past weeks, it would be very, very good to change your Instagram account to a professional or a creator account. It is free. Also to start a Facebook business / fan page, depending on where you're coming from, it's a business page, fan page. They're essentially the same thing. Those are also free. Starting a Facebook business page is like starting over. It's true. So you start it and then you have to try to get all of your people to it. So it's kind of tricky with that. You're having to start at ground zero to build a following, but that's where ads come in to play, which is great. Instagram, you could just use your already Instagram accounts for the most part. I'm sure there's some things with Instagram, like certain people may not or may not be able to do it, may or may not be able to do it. Um, but you could change your Instagram account into a creator slash professional account, and you will get access to being able to boost posts and etc. And the good thing with the having a business, Facebook or Instagram, is that you're able to now look at analytics. You're able to look at all the stuff that people like about your content. And so you're able to see a lot more information than what you would with a normal account. And now that you have that, you're also able to promote, which is great. So you could use the Meta Ads Manager if you have both your Facebook and your Instagram account. You can link them together so you could literally push one piece of content to both. It's great and amazing. You could do that anyway right now without the business account. But now with the ads, you could also create ads and do that same thing. And you can run ads across both the platforms. And then just a reminder that personal profiles, you cannot boost and you cannot advertise on there. You can grow, you can, using all the stuff that we did. But if you're at a point where you're just like, okay, I'm ready to get more, I'm wanting to do more. I want to run funnels. I want to run, put links out there to my replicated site, or I have a website that I'd like to push. This is where you need that, especially if, I don't know if you've ever looked at, and maybe you haven't, if you do have a business account, if you ever looked at your reach compared to your following, it is eye-opening that you can tell Meta is a business and they want your money. So say you have 1,000 followers. A lot of times your content will only be pushed out to a very, very small percentage of those, sometimes 3 to 4%, very, very low. They want your money to push it out to the people who like your stuff, which is kind of backwards, but that's how they survive. And so but you can't do that unless you have a professional account, right? So it's good to, if you have something that you really, really want to share with everybody and you already have a professional account, or it would be good to boost that to at least the people that follow you. Even in that case, it's not going to hit all of them. It depends on the amount of money you put into it, of course. But anyway, so that's a whole other topic. But when you create a business and a business or professional or creator account, it just opens up opportunities for you. Okay, so if you were to boost a post, this is how I would do it. I would look back first and I would see what is my highest post or high performing post that I've done. It could be a reel, it could be just a post, a carousel post, whatever. You can also do this with stories. And then I would just, for now, as you're starting off, just put a couple dollars into it, see how it goes. Sometimes I would just do like $1 a day for the next 30 days, something really easy. And remember, all of this, since you are a business with LIV, this is tax deductible for you. You are your own business owner. So any of the things that I say that is money related in this whole time is all tax deductible. And so your ads that you run are tax deductible, which is great. So I would start promoting my or boosting my high performing posts, and go to either your followers or the like. You'll have lots of options when you get into that. And I would have it go for at least 30 days and see how it goes. The algorithm, it takes at least 20 days, in my understanding, for it to figure out who to send it to. And after 20 days, your boost will either whoop or go higher. And usually it'll go higher because at that point, the algorithm's figured it out. So I would do at least 30 days. If it's doing good, by all means, keep that going, extend that post or extend that boost, especially if you have links connected to it, okay? Because those links, depending on where they're going, are hopefully giving you sales, either through a replicated site or giving you an audience to your website or your funnel or however, okay? So when you are running a post or sorry, an ad, so either do your high performing post, or you want to do something that's relatable or curiosity driven, that we talked about last week. I swapped soda for this, how I get energy without caffeine. Talked about this a little bit. Send them to your replicated live link or a landing page that you created separate, or which is like your website or blog links to purchase, etc., or a funnel that you've created. Okay, now what you can do without having a business or a creator's account. If you do not want to go that next step, you can easily do this. Anybody can easily do this. And I suggest you do this. This is a way for, if you don't have a large audience, this is a way for you to become more visible. And it's a great way to reach more people outside of your audience. This does cost money still and could cost money or product. But also, once again, tax deductible. So, all right, we want to reach out to micro influencers. Now, you may have heard of influencers. Those are the ones with like the million followers or whatever, right? And they're always touting products. Now, if you have a lot of money, you could go after those people. More, it would be better to go out to micro influencers. And these are people that may not even really know they're influencers at all. They just have a really big following compared to what like a normal person would. So between like 1,000 to 20,000 followers, some of these people are just sharing their lives and realizing, oh, I could get free product or maybe a little bit of money on the side because people like me and I have a big following without me even trying, right? I hate those people, but still, there's people like that that are out there. Okay, so you want to go and look for these people within your own niche. Okay, so if you are all about promoting like a fitness thing, like your fitness, whatever, that's what you mainly do, or Zumba people or whoever, or you're just all about moms and you have kids at home, you know, find the people that are in your same niche that have a bigger following than you and just reach out to them. It's as simple as that. Just say, hey, so and so, I love your content. I've been following for you a while. Make sure you follow them. This is very, very big. A lot of people will not say yes to you because they realize you don't really follow them. So I'm with a wellness brand that helps with whatever you're going to say, like energy, easy mom swaps, whatever. I'd love to send you a free product or money or whatever in exchange for some content. And you could decide what the content is at this point, or you could say, I'm up for negotiation, like let's talk. I'll let you know what I have in mind, or what are you willing to do kind of deal. So this is super open depending on what you're wanting, what you're willing to give, and what they're willing to give back, right, in exchange for that. So you could easily offer free product. A lot of these micro influencers will work just on free product. So that is an easy way to do it. Just do like a bag of green to or do a bundle, do a couple products together, whatever you want to do. Once again, tax deductible, you guys remember this. Or optional. Some of these influencers are like, no, I'd rather just have money. Then you could say, okay, well, I'll send you the free product anyway, because you would need to have the product in order to do videos. And here's $50, $75. This is the negotiation that will take place in your direct messages, and just do whatever's right for you. Some of them will ask for the moon, and do not give them the moon if you do not feel like giving them the moon. Just do whatever is right for you. Okay. And then within all of that conversation, make sure that you at the beginning tag your handle, just so it's easy for them to come back to you without trying to find your profile, even though they should be doing that in the first place. And within the conversation later, make sure that you use your replicated site link so they can look at the product that you are suggesting. And that is that's the basis of this. And so once you reach out to these people, okay, so let me go back. The best way to find these people, this is probably people you already follow, I'm assuming. And I would reach out to those people first. If you don't follow a lot of the people, these type of people, then go through and just do searches on Facebook or Instagram for that niche that you're trying to get in contact with. And just start looking. A lot of it is you're just going to be in your phone, just scrolling and be like, oh, nope, I don't like her values, or oh, nope, she only does this, or she already works for another company. So you need to do your research before you reach out to these people. For sure, do your research, and then sometimes you'll find the perfect fit, and it's great. That being said, you're going to DM them, and you'll probably never get a response. That doesn't mean never. A lot of people that are micro influencers that aren't already promoting other products don't realize to look into their hidden messages or their junk or whatever in their DMs. And that's where you will fall in there unless they're following you back. And so I would then go to their comments on one of their posts and say, hey, I DM'd you. Can you check your DMs? And simple as that. And if they ignore you, that's fine. If they don't and they get back to you, then all the better, right? And then you can start the conversation. Just a heads up on this. I've done this before for another company that I was working for, just as like on the side kind of thing from church. And they were selling t-shirts. And we were trying to find micro influencers just like this. And I reached out to probably 20 people and 2 of them got back to me. So out of those 2 people though, all they wanted was free product. They didn't ask for any money. So it was super great. We just sent them t-shirts and they wore them and then we used their content and it was great. So just know that that was 10% and that was probably higher than what you might get. So reach out to more than just one person. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. Okay. Now, what do you do with influencer content? So first off, you need to make sure that you ask for permission to reuse their photos and their videos. This is kind of implied, but just make sure because sometimes influencers get weird about their content. Then you want to repost all their stuff, everything that they're promoting with whatever product you gave them, repost it in your stories. You can remix it with their reels as long as they have remixing on their reels. Use clips of it into your own. Then you want to, if you have different micro influencers or influencers posting about, say, green to or whatever you put in there, track who posted what. You need to really be good at doing this and what time. They've posted when they're supposed to post it, who performed well, what performed well, who do you want to keep sending product to because they did so well that you got a lot of sales from later on, right? So you all, when they're posting things, always make sure they use your replicated site link. So when they say, hey, go over here to purchase this, this is really great product, they're using your replicated site link. Now, you don't have to pay them anything past what you already paid them, but at some point they're probably going to want to become, if they're doing really well, become distributors on their own, which is only great for you, right? So at that point you can have the conversation of them becoming their in your downline, right? But until then, all of that is gravy just for you. You've already paid them up front with either free product and they're just simply posting a link that you gave them. Okay. Now, when they post that information, go through the visible comments that you see, and I would follow up on their reel or on their post that they created for you. Follow up with those comments, talk to those people, DM those people, however. Okay. And so that audience has now become your audience essentially. So this multiplies your visibility without creating extra content for yourself. You just have to do the follow up on it. All right. Now getting into the fun tools besides all of that I use to create content. So this is all the fun stuff. All right, using AI to help you create content like ChatGPT, etc. I'm going to tell you right now, I would not, for you guys personally, I would not use AI to create product content, pictures. You can, and there's some really good ones that come about from that and they look amazing, but AI's not quite there yet a lot of times, especially if you're adding words and stuff into pictures, that things are going to get misspelled, things are going to get weird. There's some weird things that come out when you throw stuff into AI. And so just be aware of that if you are creating pictures using AI, just to make sure they're good pictures and actually don't look too AI. The whole point of this training is to be authentic and to be yourself. And so I wouldn't necessarily throw AI stuff in there often at all. If I mean, maybe for your 20%, maybe, but I wouldn't even do it for that. It would be better to offer your true self rather than AI content. My 2 cents. But that being said, I am totally for AI content when it comes in text form. Using like ChatGPT, Grok is another one. ChatGPT is actually pretty good for what it does. So why use it? It saves you time when you feel stuck, when you have that like the brain fog or just whatever, the content block. AI is great for that. It gives you ideas you might not have thought of otherwise, or expanding on one idea, right? Like we talked about. It helps you stay consistent even when life is busy. So it is easy to just throw into ChatGPT. Here's my one idea, just like we talked about before. This is my one idea. Now create 5 posts using one as a reel, give me a video that I should create, give me a carousel post, give me a post, give me a story, give me all this stuff just off of this one idea. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have to think about what those ideas are, right? And now from that one idea, ChatGPT helped you create multiple posts and content. You could ask AI to write your caption.
Alicia, I would
Yeah.
love to share two comments real quick
Yes.
about some of the things you shared. Um,
Yeah.
at the very beginning, you were talking about engaging with people that make comments, or like when you do the um, stories and the slider or
Yeah.
the ABC thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember I commented, or the question on somebody's story was, how many pounds do you want to lose? 0 to 5, 10 to 20, 30 plus, or whatever. And so I clicked one of them, like A for 10 pounds or something. And
Yeah.
she DM'd me like within 24 hours. And it was funny. She goes, are you serious about wanting to lose that weight? Girl, I have the plan for you, or something like that.
Perfect.
And I said, oh, well, I don't think I am serious, or I would be doing something about it right now. But because I didn't want to be sold on her stuff, because we have
Yeah.
the best stuff, right? But I loved that she reached out, and I was so impressed with that she took what I answered. Okay. So that was my one comment on that it didn't offend me. It wasn't annoying. And we chatted a little bit after that. Like, I wished her the best in promoting her, whatever she was doing, health plan. And then number two with AI. So you guys, somebody emailed that they didn't want Green 2.0 anymore because of the sugar content. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no sugar. It's 5 calories. So I asked Chat GPT, I'm like, hey, oh, because she goes, I have an overactive bladder and it's from all the sugar in Green 2.0. So can you make a sugar-free version? I'm like, it's already sugar. Anyway, so I asked Chat GPT to help me create a response to them, and I gave them the nutrition details of Green 2.0 and our website. So Chat GPT had it all, or AI had it all. And it said, yeah, the caffeine content from the green tea that's in Green 2.0. And I'm like, what? No, there is. And so I told Chat GPT, there is no green tea in Green 2.0. And it was like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, that's another product. I'm like, not from us. So be careful. I love that we need to check. I love that we can't totally rely on it. We
Yes.
still have an impact in what we're putting out there. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of fun distributors enjoying AI, and it's fun and it's wild, and some of it's not accurate. So I'm glad you're touching on this, and hopefully we can spread that information.
Yes. Thank you, Trish. I want to go back to your engagement one with the story. If anything, that just made you even a more of a warm, and not necessarily you because you work for Liv and you have all the products that you need, but anybody else, even though they may not be interested right away, that just made them a warmer market, would make them a warmer market. Like you're just now a warmer market because now you've had a conversation with her, right? So now you have this connection with her. And so say you didn't work for Liv and you were looking for something, but you're kind of standoffish, that just creates an easier environment for you to be sold to later on, right? So having that, which is great that that girl is so on top of it. And that's what we need to be. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. So thank you for that. And yes, about AI, we are going to get into that a little bit because AI can be extremely, I would say, funny and wrong. It will a lot of times, especially I'm sure some of those of you who have been playing around with AI as in images, it could be hilarious and just like a comedy show, the things that come out and scary at the same time. But anyway, so yes, the content, you have got to be very careful and reread the content that AI puts out, as well as not just rereading it and making sure that it's accurate, but rereading it before you post to make sure you need to do the proper changes that it's telling you to do. Because sometimes it'll tell you to add certain things into this place, or like, oh, add your Zoom link here or add your whatever here, right? And so you need to make sure that you can't just copy and paste straight from AI. You still are the human behind it. And you need to double check that at all costs. So, what you can ask AI to do for you, and remembering all that stuff, is to write your captions, write your hooks that we talked about last week in your reels. And it can even help you write your story ideas. Okay. So I love to use it for hooks and for the captions. So say I already have an idea for what I want my video to be. I've already created my video, in fact, but then I'm stuck. Mine is always being stuck with what to say, right? It's like, okay, so I can say this and this and this, or should I do this? Should I do this? And so you could just throw it into AI and be like, you have to prompt it. I'm going to teach you that in a second. So it's not just specifically these words, but essentially say, there's a video that we made that's like this. I need a 3-second hook as a text overlay. And I want it to be about this. And it'll tell me 5 different hooks to use, right? And it'll spit out 5 different hooks, which is great. And make sure it's curiosity driven or funny or hilarious or educational or whatever you want to put on there, right? And so that's a really good way that then you could put that text overlay or a voice overlay on top of that reel. So AI is super great. And now you're like, okay, I picked this hook, create a caption. And all of a sudden it's like, and it'll give you a caption. And yeah, you can just copy and paste that caption, or you could go through and make it your own, which I would recommend always doing. Otherwise you could tell when AI stuff has been written, especially once you start using AI more. It's kind of like its own language. And so people who use it a lot kind of could see AI from a mile away. So it's very important to try to just add in your own personality to it as well. So you can use AI to brainstorm ideas for your reels, your carousels, and even your direct messages, just like Trisha was saying that she was using AI to help respond to the lady about the sugar content. You could use it to rewrite something. So you already have something and now you're like, oh, this just seems not right. Okay, be more fun with this. Be more serious, add emotion to this. Just spell check this, right? And so you still need to go through and make sure everything's accurate once you do that, but that's another way to use it. And then it also can give you weeks worth of content from that one idea. Just like I had mentioned a couple times, that's probably the best way to use AI for what you guys are doing, building social media. Okay, now this is how to write a good prompt. So AI, you have to become a good prompter in order to get the correct stuff out. And I'm talking more specifically, so this is all about content and not pictures. I want to be very obvious with that. You also have to become a good prompter for pictures, but as I said, I don't think you should be using AI pictures that often. So this is just content related. And so you want to, the more specific you are, the better it gets. And you think of AI as like training somebody. You're essentially training somebody to do something that you want to be done. So you're essentially giving them all the ideas in your head to create something. So just think of it as like you're the manager over this person, right? But you need to like blah all of your mind into AI for them to do their job correctly. And so that's like the best way to think of it. I also always say it's like you need to train a dog, but it's not. You're literally training not a person, but you're training a person. Just think of AI as your person, okay? Or as your assistant. Think of it as your assistant. That's probably a good way to think of it. So the more specific you are, the better it gets. So you want to tell AI to act like something. So act like whatever role, you need to give it an audience because it will give you different things for different people, right? Tell it how you want it to sound. If you want it to be, like we said, emotional, funny, relatable, manly, whatever, right? And then you want to tell it what to give you. Essentially, you want it in a caption, you want a hook, you want a caption, you want it about this topic. Sometimes you even have to give AI even more than just the topic and be like, this topic, and here's the link that I want you to resource, like use as a source. Okay. Give it the length and the style that you want it written in. Like, I like it to be like my best friend, or that's also sound like my best friend even, or like a 5-year-old. Those are funny too, right? So just all over the place. Whatever you need to be very, very specific with what you give it. The more information you can give it, the better your results will be. And you're constantly training AI. So every input or prompt that you give it gives AI more to go on in the future. So you're going to have all your chats, and AI will pull from all those chats. You can even input memories into AI, saying like, when I talk about green throat, this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about this, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. Or always be like this. You can train AI to always be like that. So when it pushes things out, it's like that. Or if you already have stuff that you've written, you could give AI your example and say, this is my like writing example. You are always going to write like mine would be like, write like Alicia from this writing example. And this will be in memory. So it already knows this. So you don't have to do it every time. And then so now you're saying, okay, you are Alicia from Live, right, whatever, right? You are a marketing genius or whatever you guys want to do. That's how you get AI to give you the best prompts. That being said, it's not always great, and it's not always accurate, and it's not always right. So always go over what AI gives you back. So here's some examples. Okay. So captions for product use. Act like a health conscious mom, that's your role, who loves wellness but hates sounding salesy. Okay, so you're already kind of giving it how it should sound. Write a short Instagram caption showing how green tea helps with sugar cravings. Use emojis and make it sound like talking to a best friend. Okay. On top of that, I wouldn't just stop there. I would say now, based on the caption you just gave me, give me 5 picture ideas for this caption that are easy for me to create, like that are easy and can be done with one person, one camera. Because sometimes they'll say, create 5 video ideas for this, and AI will come up with all the most glorious things, like you have a whole film crew by you. No, be like, no, it's just me in my house. All I have is like a bathroom and a bedroom and a living room and a kitchen, right? Just, I need basic. And so you need to tell AI that, and it'll give you some really super basic picture ideas. Super great. Anyway, also we won't go into that. Never mind. Your DM follow-ups, pretend you're a kind, supportive health coach, write a message following up with someone who voted yes on my Instagram poll about gut health. Be casual, friendly, and offer to send more info. There you go, done. Now here's your weekly content plan. Act like a network marketer. This is for people who are doing the business side of things more than the product. Okay, so this is like who their niche is network marketers come to them essentially to learn, which is great too. Act like a network marketer who teaches busy moms how to grow online. Create a 7-day social media plan with one post each day, mixing personal life, product value, and team inspiration. So those are just some ideas. All right, so tone options you can use in prompts. You'd be like a best friend cheering me on, professional but fun, do Tony Robbins style motivational, funny and relatable, warm and trustworthy, like a mom friend. Okay. These are things to avoid. Asking AI to write a post without giving any details. You need to tell it who it is. Okay. Using the first version without editing it to sound like you, making it too long or formal. Remember, social, especially for social media, social equals casual. That's important. A lot of people don't have the time to just sit and read your novel. Okay. And another common mistake to avoid, which you talked about, is not checking facts or reading before you use it. Make sure that you always do that. That's very, very, very important. All right. Now, AI is done. We're done. We have our ideas, but how do we create it? Okay. You can either just pop it right into social and be done, or you could use other tools. Popping into social is great. Other tools are great too. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that we have run. I can't believe I talked this much already. It's already been 45 minutes and we haven't done Q&A. So we'll go through this kind of fast. Okay. So Canva, I love to use Canva for posts and even for reels. If you're wanting something extra more than what the apps themselves offer. And so it's easy. I would say it's free. Some of the stuff that, excuse me, that we're going to talk about does cost money. I think it's like $120 a year or something like that. And so also it's beginner friendly, and it's great even if you're not creative. So what you could create in Canva, you could create real covers that look branded and clean. So I don't know if any of y'all have put out a reel yet, but you'll notice that in a part it says change cover on the top of your reel. It's like when you go to write the caption, there's your picture of your reel, and then it says change or change cover or something. And then you could easily actually upload something from your phone to make it look really pretty. So when people go to your grid before watching any of the reels, they see your real cover. So everything's branded and really pretty. You could decide if you want to do this or not. Sometimes real covers make a difference with views. That's a test that you can do to see if you whatever real covers. Anyway, that's just a test you could do and play around with. So you could also create carousel posts for tips, testimonials, and before and afters in Canva. Um, Story highlight covers for your profile. So those are the little dots that you like want to save one of your stories past the 24 hours, and you could create like the little circles and fun stuff on that. Um, do promo posts with the product images. So this is for your 20%. This is for your 20% that you'd be creating you pull the products from LiveView. We have PNGs that you're able to just easily put into and upload into Canva. And so there's no backgrounds on them. And then find the fun templates on Canva that you could just easily add those products into, especially if you're doing your own personal promos or whatever you're going to do with those. Also, Canva has a plethora amount of templates specifically for quotes, giveaways, weekly features, whatever you want to do, testimonials, like I said. You should search Instagram Reel Cover and see what comes up when you go into Canva or a testimonial carousel. Those are really great ones to search. Use your 3 content pillars to guide your design, which we talked about in the past. Stick to 2 to 3 brand colors and 1 to 2 fonts and consistency. This is essentially, as I mentioned, you are branding yourself. And so you could be all over the place and that could be your brand, right? Or when people, especially if you are creating educational content or funny content, that especially when they're like in carousel type format, when people see your post and you have a text overlay on it, or just all like a picture or with a background or whatever, they know it's you without even looking at your name. And so that's kind of what you're wanting to go for with this. And so you could create actually branding in Canva and say, these are my brand colors, these are my brand fonts, use these essentially, which is super great. Now this one is when you magic resize. It's 100, it might not be 120. It was last time I checked. Also tax deductible, but you need to get the professional account in order to do this, but it is amazing. You can magic resize one thing into anything. So you could create content like your Instagram post. You could decide that, okay, I want this into a reel cover. Now I want to put this somehow into an email. And so you could resize all of these into different content things and like, okay, now I want this into a story, etc. Just off of one thing without having to create multiple things over and over again. It just resizes it magically for you. You might have to move around a little bit, but okay. Also, Canva has a mobile app, so it's not all online. You could easily do it all on your phone, which is super great. Okay, now edits. Instagram just came out, I think this year, with their new Meta, with their new app called Edits. And it is by far better than trying to create a reel and adding all the stuff into it within Facebook or Instagram by itself. So I would suggest you download Edits. It has all the stuff that Instagram and Facebook have, but plus more. It also has analytical insights in it, which is super great. That you're able to, and I think they just introduced that this week, that you're actually able to see when people drop off of your reel now within seconds. So you could just notice, it'll give you like a trending line. I don't know if it's available for everybody right now, but it gives you like a trend of like when all of a sudden your drop offs are. So if people aren't making it past your hook, your 3 seconds, then you know your reel's performing badly and your first 2 seconds is not good, right? And so recreate that reel with a different hook, or start at a different point with your video to see if that will help in the future, right? So it's fast, mobile friendly editing. You have your trending audio on it, just like you do in your Instagram app that we talked about last week. And you're able to do text overlays. You're able to do all the stuff. And then it saves it for you in the app. And it's so pretty because it's so easy to find when you decide, okay, like when you're batch creating, you'll have all of these all together and you're like, okay, I just want to do that one. Now post to Instagram or post to Facebook, or you could download it and use it and send it as like a video to your on your text thread or however you want to use it. So edits is super great. Anything that this is still a test I'm doing because edits just came out, but usually when Meta introduces new things, like edits or like threads, usually they like the people who use those new things they will push the content of those people more. So that's kind of been like a thing that people say happens. I'm not sure that's true or not, but that's always a test that you could do and it doesn't hurt, right? Okay, now we're almost to the end, you guys. So I'm going to add this into our Live University where I've put all the other content for our social media training. There's going to be a PDF in there that has 7 product curiosity message templates, 5 business intro message templates, 3 follow-up scripts for your ghosted DMs that we talked about last week. So you guys could copy and paste all of this and tweak it as you want and use it for when you are following up with people in your DMs through the comments, etc. I'll also be adding, as I was playing around with this AI stuff for you guys, I came across some really good gold content. And I'm going to put those up there as well. And when those go into Live University, I will just share that on the Live group page. So you guys will be able to get all that good information that I've already trained my assistant into creating because it is stuff specifically for you and it's some really good content. So when I get that ready, I will put that up and let you all know about it. But homework this week, and this is the last week. So homework is essentially all the stuff that I've taught you over the past 4 weeks is to just put it into play. But more importantly, specific for this week, change your Instagram account to a professional or creator account. You can start your Facebook fan page. That's going to be a little bit harder. I'm going to tell you that right now, but it would be smart to do so as well. Is at least start it. And then once you're really into wanting to grow it, that's when your ads come in. And then boost one post. And if you already have a professional account, try boosting a post. I want you to find, you don't have to reach out, but you could if you want, at least find 1 or 2 influencers that you'd be able to collaborate with, and then track your posts. So, and track all of this with your business, like how you're able to see all the analytics, which is great. And you'll be able to see your reach. So just a reminder, social media is your storefront, but DMs are where sales happen. So you're always going to want to start with, go to the conversations, right? You'll grow your social media, but when you're trying to do conversions with sales or with people enrolling, it all will happen with conversations in your DMs. So you now have the tools to post, engage, converse, and grow. Remember to don't overthink it. Don't be overwhelmed. You use AI as your guide. Use the stuff that we've given you or that I've given you in order to hopefully make this easy. I know this could be overwhelming at first, but once you get in the groove of it, it'll come naturally to you. Okay, so just remember to be consistent, be real, and be helpful, create value for people. You're not just building a following, you're building a brand and a business and a future.